Governor Rick Snyder joining us this morning. We're not going to take a lot of time to get to him because we don't have that much time when we do. Governor, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. It's great to be with you.
Well, glad to have you, sir. You're always in such an upbeat mood, and I like that. A lot of reports.
Being positive. We got good things going on, but we got more work to do.
Well, and I appreciate that. The question, sir, the first one that's unavoidable at this hour is, quite frankly, Governor, are you running for president of the United States?
Well, right now I'm busy being governor of Michigan, and actually I'm working hard on a road proposal we have coming up in a couple weeks, which is really important for us. And then I do want to go tell the Michigan story more. We need to get out and tell how well Michigan's doing because perceptions around the country are lagging 5 to 10 years, and I think it can help grow Michigan in terms of getting a lot of Michiganders to come back and getting other people to bring their businesses here and create more jobs.
Well, and I appreciate that. I'm going to try this again. An aide that remains anonymous because they didn't want to be identified said you are actually exploring the possibility of a serious consideration of running for president. Are you denying it or just sidestepping? I mean, fair enough.
Well, again, I've got a full plate right now, and I'm focused on being governor. I love being governor of the state. That's what I'm doing today, and I'm going to do tomorrow and the day after that. So we got a number of important things to work on. So I'm sticking to those, Steve.
Sticking right to those talking points because, you know, the folks around you say you cannot answer this question. But you did form this 501c4 group, Making Government Accountable, which means you can travel around the country, talk about what's going on in Michigan. And that's often a precursor, as you know, sir, for somebody throwing their hat in the ring. And you see the contenders that are in the race now. And so this is a precursor. You will be traveling more out of the state after the May 5th ballot initiative, correct?
Yeah, I've actually been clear about that for over a year or so, though. Again, this is something that I've been talking about for a long time, about marketing Michigan more, because it's time to do that. When I first became governor, Steve, to put it in perspective with you, I turned down all the national interviews for the first year or two because we were 50 out of 50, and we had to earn the ability to go tell our story. And we've done that now. It was great. You know, just a week ago or so, we announced the unemployment rate has essentially got cut in half from the time I've been governor. And in fact, we have more open jobs today than we had back in 2011. So it shows, you know, there's great opportunity for the future here, and there's so many wonderful things with the skilled trade and great things to do. So that's what I'm excited to tell that Michigan message. And again, how many Michiganders do we know left the state that we could get them interested in coming back home? And like I said, businesses looking for a great place, they don't think of Michigan as much anymore, but we're a top place to do business in terms of job creation now.
You might want to let California know what we have plenty of is water. We have plenty of water here, Governor. You might want to let the qualified people of California know they can move here and not worry about droughts and so forth.
Believe me, no, those are important things. Yeah, when you wake up in the morning, you want to be able to take a shower.
Well, that is important. You know, the EPA saying taking shorter showers are not a good idea. All right, so I'll do one last question on this, and then I'll let you off the hook. Would you ever consider the possibility of running for president?
Well, again, there's a lot of things to think about, so I wouldn't exclude it necessarily, but right now there's enough exciting things to work on here that, again, I'm very Michigan-centric, and it'd be a decision not only with me, but for my family.
And I appreciate that. We're on the line this morning with Michigan Governor Rick Snyder here on the Steve Gruber Show, so the big thing facing you right now, of course, is this Proposal 1 on May the 5th. It's the first priority just a couple of weeks away now. I know that it's not doing well in the polling, but there has been some push by those supporting the initiative, yourself included, to get it passed. In part, it will help fix roads. It'll send money to schools. It will take care of local municipalities. It'll give tax breaks to lower-income people. It's a big package, and I think part of the issue facing, and you must admit it's an uphill climb at this point, but it's the fact that it's not just a clean bill that if you vote for this, you'll get a higher tax on gasoline that'll fix the roads. Where are we with it, sir?
Yeah, I think we're making progress because, as you said, Steve, it takes some time for people to understand what's in the whole package. And part of the big issue is our current system is really complicated. And, in fact, this provides some simplicity to it. But to do that, you have to walk through the pieces because if you look at what we have today, it's a system that doesn't make a lot of sense. In our current system, one, it's not raising enough money for our roads. We all know we need to invest more in our roads. But if you look at what you pay at the pump, we pay a flat 19 cents a gallon that goes to transportation. The balance of what we pay in taxes at the pump is our retail sales tax, which goes to schools and local government. So the issue is a lot of people believe everything at the pump, and I'm part of that, should go to transportation. So the issue is we need to raise more money. One way to do that is to go from 19 cents to just under 42 cents. But if you leave the retail sales tax, our gas prices get awful high. So now you say, okay, let's get rid of that retail sales tax and have 100% of what we pay at the pump go to transportation, which is a good answer. But when you remove that retail sales tax, you've just shifted the problem now. You've created a hole for schools and local government, among others. And so you have to say, how do we do this without harming someone else? And that's where the 6 to 7% on the sales tax change comes in, and that requires a constitutional amendment. And that's why we had to go to a vote of the people. But this had broad bipartisan support in the legislature, Steve. It took a 2/3 vote of both chambers to put it on the ballot.
And that part I understand. And some people have said that is, kicking it back to the voters when we sent you folks to Lansing to solve these problems. There's some complaints in that regard as well. Now, let me ask you, and I don't know if you're focused on this yet, but in the event that you wake up on May the 6th and this initiative does not succeed, where do we go from there?
Well, we're still going to need a solution at some point, Steve, and the sooner the better. It only gets to be more expensive the longer the solution waits. And you have to put it in context, the last time we did something was 97. So this only comes up about every 10 to 20 years, but it needs to be done right, and this proposal does it right. If we don't, we're going to see our roads continue to go downhill, and that bill that today we say is approximately $1.2 billion a year is going to go up quite a bit, because when a road goes from fair to poor, the cost to bring it back is 5 or 6 times as much as to keep it to be a fair to good road.
And obviously this has been the focus of your efforts here over the past few weeks. Again, the last time I saw polling numbers, it showed that this initiative was losing 2-1 or 3-1. You must admit it's an uphill climb. We got about 20 seconds here.
Well, it's always a challenge, but the good part is we have a huge coalition of over 150 parties that are doing a great job of communicating and hopefully getting out the vote on Tuesday, May 5th.
All right, and Governor, if you can't blame me for this, you have to trust that it's my position. If, for the sake of argument, you were going to consider running for president, when would an announcement come? See, I can't quit.
Well, again, that's something I haven't come up with all the specifics because I'm so busy focused on being governor. I mean, practically, you'd have to be out there sometime summertime at the latest.
And I appreciate your candor on that one. Governor Rick Snyder, it's a pleasure, sir. Always is. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you. Take care.
Governor Rick Snyder here on the Steve Gruber Show. That sounded like a man that's going to run for governor to me. He didn't say no. He said he'd have to consider it in the early summer there. Sounds to me like Rick Snyder might, in fact, run for president of the United States.